Hey, what's going on, y'all? Much love from the tribe. QB in the building. What's going on, everybody? TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Yo, it's I, the Funkster. QB up in the building. Hey, how y'all feeling today? This is the official Old School Radio podcast. We're going to be in the building. And we are talking about things that, things are happening. Especially my hometown, Chi. I mean, all over the country, all over the world. ICE agents. You know what I mean? The military coming in. You know, a lot of people reporting that ICE agents is grabbing people off the street, not asking for credentials, papers, things of that nature. It's just mayhem in the city of Chicago. To me, when the military came in, it made it worse. Chicago, normally y'all call it Chirac up in the building, but let me tell y'all something. We're not Chirac. Not even close. We don't drop different things up in the building. We don't drop military weapons in Chicago. We don't blow up stuff in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? We don't do the things that people do in other countries in Chicago. We're not trying to unalive people in Chicago. We're not trying to, well, some people are unalive. Let me take that back. We do unalive. We do that. But it's not as bad as other countries, as they say it is. That Chirac stuff with Spike Lee and that Nick Cannon movie. Come on, y'all. Really? All the ones that's from our city and other cities like Chicago realize things are going. But this is the Old School Radio podcast. So we are here doing things in business. We're live on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. We're live all over. So we have to really focus on things that we really want to get everything together. Now, we as a people get some stuff messed up. It's like they're teaching about history. Other people are teaching about history, but they tend to have stories. They're not telling the whole story. Our ancestors didn't sit there. To me, people who disregard people who did the work, learning history, teaching history, doing everything to the point where they bring it down to the letter. Our ancestors never said, they never said that you believe what I say and don't research it. Come on. They never said that. So we have to really focus on things that's real and understanding to a point. So when people talk about we're indigenous to the Americans, that's half the story, man. Come on, y'all. How y'all gonna disregard the motherland and say the motherland is the new world and the Americans is the old world? Eventually, as time went on, our beginning started in Africa. Come on, y'all. It started in Africa. Now, through the mixture of seed, a lot of those origins start fading away. And eventually we became indigenous to this land. Because we travel all over the world. But we started in Africa. We as a people don't believe in the Pangea story. How a lot of the supercontinent, people don't understand that. But that's all part of history. As time went on, they told that story. And that's real because no matter how you look at the maps on the land, they say Africa wasn't on the map. Yes, no, it wasn't. Not Africa, because Africa is not the original story. Africa is not the original name. They might have Sudan, they might have Nubia, they might have, Kubalan. But we were the original. We are the original people. And the pyramids in Egypt, so-called Egypt, Kemet, are older than the ones in America. That's been proven. Scientifically, as time went on, that's been proven. And then you guys have the nerve to say, that African people were made with monkey DNA. You sound like them. You sound like them. And then you have the nerve to say, the American dollar has two governments. The government we created and the government they created. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. That's not true. That's not true. We did a lot. Benjamin Franklin did a lot. He did create Big Ben. He did create the clock. All that's true. We invented a lot of stuff in this country. And before we even came here, we invented a lot. We had light bulbs before the world did. Come on, y'all. It's like in the Temple of Seti, they have ships, spaceships, helicopters, airplanes on the wall of the Temple of Seti, showing our advancement, showing that we were highly intelligent, showing that we were way before our time. And y'all got to say we started in Americans. We eventually came here and then started trading with ourselves. Yeah. We came here and other people came from Africa trading with our people that came from Africa. Come on, y'all. Really? Are y'all really going to cut that story in half and say, we ain't from the motherland? Come on, y'all. That don't even make sense. Babylon existed, Rome existed, Mesopotamia existed. The symbols on the back of the dollar represents all three fallen empires. That's real talk. And then during the course of history, they talk about these fallen empires rising up again. And guess where we are? Babylon, Mesopotamia, and Rome. Now, how in the world did that happen? Then you had, what's the problem is, true, Kemet or Egypt has been invaded more than once. Everybody came to Egypt to take. Started with the Greeks. We started teaching the Greeks. And the Greeks started doing certain things. The Greeks started trying to get everything together. The Greeks sat there and said, okay, you know what? Instead of learning from these people, we're going to take from them. So they burnt down the libraries. They took everything out, destroyed, burnt down libraries. The French came over, shot the nose off the Sphinx. Come on, y'all. We're talking about Napoleon. Oh, that's real history, man. That's all real history. That's not fake history. That's not fake news. That's real talk. This is all a part of history. Alexander the Great came over and invaded Egypt. Everybody came over and invaded Egypt after a while. So this particular civilization became easy pickings for different European people. the Germans, the French. Everybody came on and invaded. They even had white pharaohs after a while. But they wanted to take the culture that we created. They wanted to do everything we created. So based on everything that's going on right now, we really have to focus on ideas that came from our original people. We were the first people on this planet. Even if y'all understand or understand, I know y'all use understand. We used to say overstand or understand. But nowadays it's understand. So intergalactical, I guess that means intergalactical beings that came here. So even if you believe in the Bible, which I don't fully, because the Bible is a plagiarized book. Just like the Quran is the plagiarized book. So we are really focused on the understanding or the understanding of where things came from. How did this come about? How did reality come to this point? So people who teach that we are from Americans are confusing people. You're confusing my people. Stop it. Please stop it. If you're gonna tell a story, tell the whole story. We've been talking about being indigenous to this land for years, way before y'all even came around. Way before I even came around, we was talking about it. So this is nothing new. You don't think that we studied all this? You don't think that we was teaching all this back in the day? Y'all act like y'all reinventing the wheel. Really? Come on, y'all. You can't reinvent. You can't. If it's not broke, why are you trying to fix it? We ain't from Africa. We from the Americans. America is the old land. Africa is the new land. Yeah, Africa, the word Africa is new. Yeah. The word itself, no one's really African. Because it's not the original name. That's what we mean, that nobody is really African. Nobody's really African. But we talk about things that come about before. It's like, I was listening to a live not too long ago, teaching the same thing every day over and over again. Like this person really don't have no more knowledge. They teach the same thing over and over again. And you're confusing people. Stop it. We went through this. We went through this. Dr. Ben talked about it. Dr. Clark talked about it. Hell, Malcolm X even talked about it. So, a lot of people from the back in the day talked about it, about being indigenous. Hell, Chicago was founded by Jean-Baptiste Sabo, a Frenchman, a French black man. So how in the world, this new? This ain't new. This is not new. We were here a long time. We loved this planet a long time. We loved it a long time. We understood. So everybody tap that screen. Show me some love. It's free. It's free. Show me some love. It's free. Tap the screen. Hey, this is the Old School Radio Podcast. So this is the official date on October 31st, when everybody knows it's Halloween. But I did that on purpose. Because a lot of people don't really understand the psychological thought process of what these people are doing. Stop teaching stuff that it's like you telling half the story. Yeah, we talked about being indigenous to this land because it's a mixture of seed. Eventually we became, especially when before slavery, We were here before slavery. Way before slavery. Trading, building, pyramids. Who do you think built those pyramids that's here in the Americas? Black people. How do you think you got here? So, even when we talk about the Anunnaki, the purpose of them coming here was to find gold. If you was the Anunnaki, think about this. Let me ask y'all a question. If you was the Anunnaki and your planet was about to be destroyed, going through self-destruction, your planet, and you need gold to put in the atmosphere to balance out your planet, where would you go? If you came to Earth, where would you go? You would go to a place you would find most of the gold that's in the world. Name one landmass is the most enriched landmass on the planet. Let's think about it. Does anybody want to Google what's the most enriched landmass on the planet? Africa. So if you're looking for gold, where would you go? Even the Bible talks about gold in the beginning. But it's a sister right now teaching pictographs from ancient Hebrew. And the Bible's not saying what y'all think it's saying. That's very interesting for one. So, we are... It's like people pop on the scene thinking they're reinventing the wheel, like we never taught this. Like we never, talked about it or brought it up or whatever the case may be. Of course we brought it up, man. Of course we brought it up. This symbol right here is ancient. More powerful than you realize it is. It's ancient. This ain't nothing new. Where do you think this came from? Stop trying to reinvent the wheel. Stop it. Who's here? So, people don't really realize. Give me some roses, y'all. People don't really realize what's really going on when it comes to that. So, we really have an understanding of what's really going on. So, hey, hit them likes on YouTube. Hit them likes. Subscribe and like. Hey, tap that screen. It's free. I know every time I go on people's live, I'll be tapping the screen. I'll be tapping it like tap, 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 tap. I'll be tapping the screen. Because it's free. Show some love. And a lot of people don't really focus on what's real no more. We don't look at reality no more. We don't use common sense. I was watching one live. They were talking about masonry. If masonry name one place masonry started. The so-called word masonry is actually it's not an ancient word. It's not. So whatever they call it in English, it's an older word that exists. So we really need to really focus on what's really real and what's really going on. Because all this phony stuff happening, they talking about indigenous people. Facts. Eventually we became indigenous. Especially when the mixture of seed. Because the motherland got invaded so many times. Every time someone invaded, Of course they went to rape and pillage. Of course they took the time to go after the women. Hell, when Hannibal went through Rome with the elephants, I'm sure he had some time with some Italian women. That's why a lot of Italian women got some black in them. Because of Hannibal going through there. So that's the act of war. Everybody did that. We did it, they did it, but they did it worse than we did. So the ones with the power has the pen, meaning that the ones with the power write the history. Why in the world we writing this history? Why in the world we believe in this history? Why in the world we take the slave master's religion and run with it? Why? Why? People in Islam enslaved us, but you took their religion. That's how they got us in North Atlantic slave trade. Religion. When this religion was created, Constantine, history, Emperor Constantine had a speech talking about using religion to overcome a people. The Nicene Council. Why would the Nicene Council take books out and leave some books in and add more books to it? Why is it the Catholic Bible has 73 to 77 books? The Ethiopian Bible has 1,500 books. And then they give us the King James Version or the NIV or whatever. Our version of the book only has 66. And then the books that's in the 66 books make reference to other books that's not a part of the Bible. So let's think about that. Why in the world is this happening? They used to say the best way to hide something from an N-word is put it in the book. Why did they say that? We are very intelligent people. Very intelligent people. And we simply don't think when it comes to religion. Matter of fact, the purpose of religion, any religion, is not to think. You just blind faith. You just believe what you hear. That's why knowing is always better than belief. Belief is just simply defined in the Webster Dictionary, your boy Webster. It says to accept. What are we accepting from people? Let's think about that for a moment. What are we accepting from people? Just because they sit there and say, hey, let's say this dude named Jesus came about. He came over. Let's say, what if I told you Jesus came into my room and shook my hand and said, Quinn, hey, you're my teacher. Teach my people. And I told the story twice in the book I wrote. And it was told 2 different times, 2 different ways. Would you believe me? If I said Jesus came in my room and said, hey, Quinn, I want you to teach my gospel. Teach my gospel. And then I call y'all a different name that he never calls y'all. That's a new religion. The Bible literally, the difference between the so-called Jesus and Paul, which really gets me because his name was Saul, which was the Hebrew name. And then you change it to a Roman name. That should tell you his mother was black and his father was Roman. But according to Hebrew tradition, your identity comes from your father, not your mother. Which that part don't make sense anyway, but that's their tradition. Your identity comes from your father. So he was more Roman than Hebrew. But he had an authentic Hebrew name. But they changed it to a Roman name. Why? Paul was the first one to call you Christians. Paul was the first one to tell you, hey, y'all can eat pork, just pray over it. What did Jesus teach? Follow the laws and commandments of the prophets that came before me. In other words, don't eat pork, whether you pray over it or not. Paul came over, and then Jesus told y'all, say, hey, before I leave, I got some rules and regulations. Don't go among the Gentiles. And what's the first thing Paul did? He went among the Gentiles. Now, did Paul really follow Jesus? Or did he pretend to follow Jesus? Because if I had a master teacher and he gave specific instructions and said, hey, don't do this, don't do that, and here's why I don't want you to do that. And then I pop on the scene and say, hey, I'll follow the master teacher. And then I sit there and say, but I'm going to do the opposite of what he said not to do. That's interesting to me. Very interesting to me. Before Jesus left the scene, he said, you cannot serve two masters. But yet Paul seemed to teach differently than what the Messiah taught. That's interesting to me. Especially if he never calls y'all Christians. Christ is a Latin or Greek word. He spoke Hebrew. Matter of fact, Messiah is not even a Hebrew word. He grew up, guess where he grew up at? All the prophets and everybody went to one place all through this. If you even believe in the Bible, y'all now reading it. Where did Jesus grow up at? Since he was a baby. Where did he grow up at? It was in Bethlehem. Where did he grow up at? He grew up in Egypt. Think about it. When King Herod was looking for the firstborn, killing all the firstborns, when he was doing that, where did the angel of God tell Jesus to go, Mary and Joseph to take the baby? Where did they say go? I'm wondering. Where did they say go? Egypt. Then he's a baby growing up. They start telling the story. 18 years of a missing story about his life. 18 years. He was a baby. Then all of a sudden he popped on the scene after and said, well, you may leave Egypt and go here. He was the infant, just born, going to Egypt. He didn't pop back on the scene until 33 years old. That's 18 years missing of his life. But the Ethiopian Bible talks about his life as a baby. You heard one story when he was a kid. He took an unalive bird and resurrected it and brought it back to life. That's interesting. Keep tapping that screen, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. Show me some love. I appreciate that very much. Go and tap that screen. But people on YouTube, hey, listen up, y'all. Y'all just subscribe. Show me some love. Give me some thumbs up. Instagram, show me some love as well. We're gonna make it happen, Captain. You know what I mean? So why so y'all did the same, so y'all telling half stories. Y'all doing the same thing these people who wrote the Bible or the Quran or any other biblical book. You would think all the Bibles would be the same, but they're not. If you read, when I meant about the book being plagiarized, in literature, we talk about plagiarism, right? What is plagiarism? Plagiarism is when you quote somebody and don't give credit. That's plagiarism. That's plagiarism. That's something. That's something else right there. That's plagiarism. But if I can read a book called The Coffin Text, look it up. Coffin Text, and look up how old this book is. Look it up. Don't believe what I say. Look up everything I'm telling you. Research it. I'm not gonna sit there and tell you to believe what I say. You don't have to believe what I say. Just look it up. This is basic history. Look it up. Look up the Nicene Council, the Nicea Council, the Roman Council. Read about what they did. Look it up. Read the Bible like you're supposed to. Learn the difference between Paul and Jesus. There's a big difference. But you're not supposed to serve two masters. Who do you think he was talking about? Because he knew somebody was going to come step on the scene and lie. He knew. But like hook, line, and sinker, y'all went for it. Y'all went for it. So when people talking about we're indigenous to Americans, that's only half the story. Read the whole history. Read it. How in the world are we doing this? How are we showing people? Tap that screen, everybody. Just show some love and tap that screen. How in the world are we doing this? It's something that we must focus on. And I'm not trying to start no mess. I'm a peace-loving man. But let's tell the story, the whole story. Don't tell my people have truth. Because let me ask y'all a question. Everybody, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. What happens when you take a word out the truth? What happens to it? What happens to it? Anybody write in the comments? What happens when you sit there and be like, I'm going to take this away. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Dude in the Woods, did you click on the link, my brother? Did you click on the link, my brother? I sent to you. Because you're supposed to be popping up on the show. You're my co-host, my brother. Did you click on the link? But we'll get together. We'll get together. Don't worry about it. It's only the first show. There's going to be a lot more shows, my brother. A lot more shows. Anyway. So, we must focus on some things that really, really make sense to everybody else in the world. This is crazy to me. Tell a story that makes sense. Have you heard the in-hope cradle theory? Who's Imhotep? People don't talk about Imhotep no more. He's out the story. Who's Imhotep? Tell me, anybody tell me who Imhotep is? Tell me who's in Imhotep. We got hypocrite and we got Imhotep. Who's hypocrite? I call him hypocrite. Who's hypocrite? The Hippocratic Oath. Remember that oath the doctors take? The Hippocratic Oath. Who's Imhotep? They don't take the Imhotep oath. They're supposed to. You know why? Imhotep was the first brain surgeon. Guess what? When he existed, guess where he was at? Imhotep had a daughter, according to the Bible. Hagar. Who's Hagar? Tell me who Hagar is. Imhotep was her father, supposedly. Imhotep was the original founder of medicine. Not Hippocrates. Hippocrates was not the founder of medicine, but because he was Greek, that's what they do today. They take a Hippocratic oath. They don't take an Imhotep oath. But yet, these pyramids that were built in Egypt, and all over the world, because we were all over the world. White people didn't build no pyramids. White people didn't build no pyramids. We built them. So how in the world how were these pyramids built? I don't even like to use the word African. So African, when they start talking about we're not African, they're right, we're not. Africa's not, the word African comes from the word Afrikia. Afrikia means to divide. We don't divide anything. We don't live our life in division. We live our life in order. Our ancestors lived in order. Now, people who brought chaos to us, that's when our lives changed. When we got enslaved. And teaching that they were never enslaved. Really. Y'all so special that your people never got enslaved. That's an interesting concept. Please do tell. How were you not enslaved? One of two things could happen. Either you betrayed your people, or your bloodline escaped. One of two things could have happened. And they only grabbed certain bloodlines because they went deep into the continent. Deep into the continent. They ain't just they ain't just go to the borders. Hey, we're gonna get these people. They went deep into the Congo to get us. Deep. So there's some bloodlines that escaped. So it's a possibility that your bloodline was never enslaved. But one of two things could have happened. Either you betrayed your people or you escaped. That could have happened. Ain't there a possibility? And there was not more than one slavery other than the Arab slavery in the North Atlantic slave trade. They still was in tangent. Because the Arab slavery was a lot older than the North American slave trade. That's when they taught our people Islam. They always indoctrinated us with religion. Always. So that's why people like Noble Jew Ali, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Marcus Garvey, use Islam. Because you have to use religion to stop us from using religion. We had to be taught as Islam. We have to go through the schools of religion: Judaism, Christianity, Islam. Interesting. But you turn my God a different color, your color, and then teach us how to follow that God. So when we look at y'all, guess what we thought you were? Gods that we worship. But you look nothing like the gods we looked at. It's like going through the airport. The same gods that was in Egypt is the same gods taking your luggage. So we went from that to this, which is fine. Now, let me tell you the bad story about us as a people. We became arrogant, sloppy, not thinking, because we were given everything. It's just like you take your child and give your child $20, and they did nothing to earn it. They won't appreciate it because they didn't earn it. After a while, you become arrogant, sloppy, slow, stagnant. So that's why things happen. That's why the invasions happen. That's why things were taken away from us. All this stuff was protected. Now all of a sudden, they can take it all and give it up all and take it away from our people. Kemet has been invaded so many times, it's ridiculous. It's not even Kemet anymore. When the Greeks came over and stole everything, that's why you think when invaders come over, they rename stuff too. You ever notice that? When invaders come over to a land, they rename everything. How in the world they did that? It was Kemet, then they turned to Egypt. Egypt is a Greek word meaning black. Then they started changing the names of the gods. Let's see here. They went from Sarnaset, Osiris, Horus, Thoth. Tahuti became Thoth. All these are Greek words, Greek names. And then they changed it into Greek mythology. But our mythology was teaching the order of the universe. It was all code. It was all code that we were teaching. So they missed the point. We didn't worship these gods. Each god represented the element. Ra represented the sun. Neat. And normal people did not speak Mayonnaise. We had a regular language as well. But we didn't speak the language that Greeks spoke. We didn't speak the language that Rome spoke. We didn't speak the language that Babylon spoke. We had our own understanding, overstanding. So, why in the world we allow things like this to happen? Because we became arrogant. For centuries, our secrets were protected. No invasions. Now all of a sudden, that all this stuff suddenly happening. So yeah, our people can slip. That's why we're in the predicament we're in now. Because now we have to earn everything now. That's why slavery happened. To weed the garden, if you will. To weed the garden, if you will. That's what happened. So only certain bloodlines didn't get enslaved. Because we kept the original tradition of keeping order. But most of our bloodlines were enslaved because of what happened. Like I said, if your bloodline did not get enslaved, either you did one of two things. You betrayed your people, or you escaped. That's the only logical explanation. So when people say it was more than slavery, yeah, Arab slavery in North Atlantic slave trade. That's a fact. But don't think, but the North American slave trade was just one slavery that went through history, different points of history. That's all it was. And everything was designed to dissect us as a people because they were jealous of us. We were our older people. White people only been here for 6,000 years. How in the world that happened? We are a lot older than what you think we are. So we focus on things that happens that way. So that's all I'm going to start out with, because for the Old School Radio podcast, this is the first show. But every Friday, we're going to do what we got to do. Every Friday. One show a week. But love is true. Love is real. Tap that screen, everybody. Hey, subscribe and like. Tap that screen. Show them some love, y'all. Tap that screen, y'all. Come on, keep tapping that screen. Show them some love. Hey, it's free. Tap the screen. It's free. It's free. It's free. We gotta stop being lazy and use them fingers, man. Tap that screen. Thank you, love. Thank you. I appreciate y'all showing me love. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Come on, because every time I get on someone's live, guess what I do? I tap that screen. I give. I give gifts. I tap that screen. I invest. Invest in your people. Come on. Invest in the people. I don't act like, I can do this for free because I want my people to know. That's why I do it. I don't do it for profit. But at least you can do what's free. Come on. It's just like YouTube. It's free to thumbs up people. It's free. Come on, y'all. Really? It's free. TikTok is free. Instagram. Tap the screen. Show them some love. It's free. TikTok. Keep tapping that screen, y'all. It's free. Thank y'all. Thank you. I see the hearts going up. I appreciate it so much. But let's start studying, y'all. Don't believe what I say. Look it up. Look up the migration of African people. Look it up. Look it up. This is the original cause of creation. Life. Everlasting life. This is, see this, I'm breaking it down. See this part right here? This O, this is the womb of the woman. This is the shaft of a man. Men and women working together. Guess what we call that? Family. The foundation of our people is what? Family. That's why they want to destroy the black family. Because family gives us power. Family gives us power. Real spiritual cosmic power. So I'm going to show love to y'all. I appreciate y'all tapping that screen. So we're going to learn about the real foundation of black people. Family. We're going to learn how to love again. We're going to learn how to love ourselves again. Because that's where it starts. Loving ourselves. Because we were taught not to love our noses, our lips, our hair, the pigmentation in our skin. Trust me, when I'm in the sun, I get dark because of the pigmentation in my skin. I don't burn. I'm light skinned. But what they say, light skinned, you did. But I don't burn. My hair is ether 9. I don't have straight hair. But I'm discovered because of a mixture of seed. When you keep diluting the seed, eventually it will disappear. Eventually. That's why we became indigenous to this land. Because we really lost or unfounded our real history. It was taken away from us. Duh. And then you came up with new crap. But our people have been talking about the indigenous of people of America for years. Stop thinking y'all inventing the wheel. This is part of a great story. It really is. If you learn the whole story, it's a really good story. If y'all really take the time to look it up, it'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. But next time on the Old School Radio Podcast, we're going to have real dialogue. It ain't going to just be me. Co-host. I love you anyway, brother. I really do love you. But we're going to talk about what happened. But this is real. YouTube, Instagram. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Hey, TikTok. Appreciate y'all. Keep hitting those likes. Keep tapping that screen. Keep tapping that screen. Showing me love. I appreciate that so much. Next time we're going to focus on hitting those goals on top of my screen. Alright? Next time we're going to talk about hitting goals on top of my screen. But for now in the first show, I want y'all to continue to tap that screen. Keep tapping. Keep tapping. Keep tapping. I'm going to get off YouTube and Instagram. But I'm going to continue to talk to y'all for a little bit over the time. Okay? Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. Stay right there. Don't go nowhere. Hey, y'all. This is the Old School Radio Podcast. YouTube, I appreciate you. Show them likes, hit that thumbs up, and subscribe. I appreciate you so much. Much love from the tribe. Holla at your boy. And it's always a tribal thing. Old School Radio Podcast, out. Hey, y'all. Hold on 1 second, y'all. I'm coming. All right, y'all. Hey, listen up, everybody. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all tuning in. But all I'm trying to do is bridge the gap between generations. Because we're telling half stories. We're telling half stories. And we're not telling the whole story. We're too busy trying to get paid. That's the problem with people nowadays. They're trying to use knowledge to get paid. We all need money. We all trying to earn money. We all trying to get paid as far as levels of paying bills. Bills. We all got them. We all got them. But the universe will reward you if you take the history of its people and tell it the right way. Stop looking at materialistic things only. Yes, we're not supposed to get paid. We're not supposed to get paid to tell real stories. So we have to have other ways of making money. But I do this because I love it. Now, if I get paid doing what I love, that's different. But I want y'all to realize something. Tell the whole story. Because you take a word out the truth, it becomes what? A lie. Stop lying so much. Because we know the whole story. We know when someone is lying because we've studied it. We're still studying it. Learning something new every day. That's my goal, at least in my life. Is to learn something new every day. So I can tell somebody else about the story. More about the story. So this is the Old School Radio Podcast. I appreciate y'all listening to me. I will be back every Friday with the Old School Radio Podcast. I appreciate you liking my stories, liking my posts. Show some love. Hey, I'm still on here. I'm still on hearts. Tap them screen. Tap that screen, y'all. Just tap the screen. Hey, we made 1.6K. That's not bad for the first Old School Radio Podcast. Hey, give me the 2. Can I get 2? Can I get 2.0? Can someone tap the screen and give me 2.0? Or maybe I'm asking too much. Come on, y'all, it's free. Tap that screen. Tap that screen. Show some love. Show some love to your brother. A little bit more love. But we made it to 1.6K. That's what's up, y'all. Thank y'all for the love. I appreciate it. This is QB. Hopefully we'll have the whole team. Divine. The whole team, sir. The whole team. You're a part of this team. But I will figure out the way to add TikTok to the live stream, along with YouTube and Instagram. But I had to include you guys because y'all showed me so much love and I appreciate it. So I'm going to tell y'all this from the bottom of my heart. I love you. I appreciate you. And it's always a tribal thing, y'all. Peace and love.